Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome to the East-West Show. Jack Chow on the East-West with the G&E TV. It is an update, once again, our weekly update time. With me is my good friend, my brother of the same mother.
That's right.
Ken Hemming. Welcome to the show.
You know, Jack, I just want to say so carefully that I am so honored that your viewers spend some time with us. And I thank them from the bottom of my heart.
I appreciate that. Not only are they watching the shows, they are followers of the show. They call, they send emails all the time to say how they like it, how they
Or don't.
how they dislike it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I fake it.
Right.
They all like it, and they make recommendations.
That's good.
They make recommendations. They sometimes ask questions. They believe in their eye that I have all kinds of friends that can answer any questions, and they kind of say, hey, can you find somebody answer questions on this one, or so on and so forth, like that. And by the way, that said, you're encouraged to please to keep on writing. So send your email, either a request or recommendation, even criticism, or expression, say how you love this show, to tellmydj@gmail.com. It is right there on the big screen. Feel free to do so. It takes about 2 minutes of your time. However, the friendship is built, right? Okay, now.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And I do appreciate the fact that I have friends, such as my friend Ken Hemming, in spite of the rain, in spite of not feeling so well,
Right.
for 2 days in a row, he made it in the rain. That really got me rocked.
Thank you, Jack. I'm a mailman through
Thank
snow,
you very
sleet, and
much.
hail.
Thank you very much. All right. Even though I argue with him all the time, I even regretted it. Why would I argue?
Well, you're often right.
I would have pacified you.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Anyway, so today we're doing the update. What is on top of your bucket list?
Well, I had some health issues. Let's not talk about a bucket list, okay?
Okay. All right. Good.
However, well, the biggest thing happening, I know there's other things you want to talk about, is that President Trump has announced tariffs on steel and aluminum. He hasn't said exactly which country or whatever, okay? So it will be modified. The stock market's had a negative reaction. I have a very positive reaction to it. You know, I love, just like my family, the people of China. But I like our economy better than I like their economy, and I want us to, succeed, you know, in competition with them. And so he's trying to make it what he calls a level playing field. There's a lot of people that are very upset about it. I really think President Trump is always 2 or 3 steps ahead of everybody else. I think he's really a smart guy, really an art of the deal guy. And I think he knows what he's doing much more than people give him credit for. So I'm backing him all the way. And we'll see what happens, because nothing's in place yet. And, you know, our steel people and our aluminum people, U.S. Steel, when I grew up, that was like Sears. They were the great, and General Electric. All 3 of those are terrible now, okay, compared to what their status was when I was a teenager. So, you know, I've driven through steel towns. They're empty steel plants. It's very depressing.
It is exactly at the moment where there are 2 things going on when we hear about the steel and aluminum thing.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Number one, in China, it is having now the 3rd session of the 19th Congress.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I didn't know that.
And also the People's Representative Congress
Okay.
of the 19th session.
Yes,
right
sir.
Now. For that important meeting, the number 1 guy in the trade and economy front, Mr. Liu He,
Okay.
right, is now visiting United States
Oh, good.
on the trade deal thing,
Welcome.
right? So the time point is very, very important, because that it showcases the importance in the Chinese eyes, because they sacrifice him for the meeting to go to United States.
Yeah, to miss
for
that.
For the discussion, right?
That's good. Great.
And this is exactly the moment when the steel and the aluminum thing, but the talk brought on the table,
Yeah.
it looks like a trade war or something, as a lots of comments says, right? So, do you think right now, while lots of people are hoping that the U.S.-China relationship going for the better and better, when some obstacle happens like this, or drawback happens like this, how do you comment the situation like this?
It's a speed bump, okay? It's a little speed bump. See, President Trump said that he talked to President Xi and said, you know, I'm not mad at him for the things they do. Some of which he thinks are very unfair, okay? He says, I'm not mad at him. If he could get away with it, he's going to do it. He said, but I'm going to try to oppose it. I'm going to try to eliminate it. I'm going to try to compete on a level field. And he says, I'm not mad at the president of any country that's trying to do the best for their country. And President Trump says, and I'm trying to do the best for mine.
With you. I agree with you.
And I have no fear of trade war.
Internationally, there's no country say, hey, my country second.
Right, we hope not.
Well,
that's right.
Nobody will say that.
No, I know. I'm
Nobody
with
will
you.
say that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put anybody else's country first and my own country second.
Yeah.
Now, and it's exactly on the opposite. Everybody puts their own nation first. China would do so, China first, and U.S. would do so, United States first.
Right.
However, while putting everybody's own nation first, there are common ground to be sought.
Oh, totally.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, now, it is not a moment to argue who first, who second. It is a moment to find out, oh, do we have common ground left?
Well, the common, see,
there's that kind of thing, right?
I think there's more things in common with China in America than there are with Russia in America. Okay, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, and so I think anything can be worked out with China, and you know we're friends. I wish we were allies. You know, we can live comfortably with their form of government. They can live comfortably with our form of government.
I agree with you. Okay, now, China, Russia, United States, right?
Big deal.
Okay, now, in history, you will find there's no moment United States invaded China or hurt China.
Yeah.
On the other hand, all you see is helping.
Right.
Whereas with Russia, though, you see different thing.
Well, we haven't invaded Russia, but you know, like Russia.
No. Russia to China.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, Russia to China.
Well, you guys touch each other, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right. So
we were once during the early '70s or something. We were once at the verge of declaring wars.
Yeah, very scary.
It is Russian that prepared everything to attack China, and it started with nuclear attack.
And that's when they had the Soviet Empire.
It.
Yeah.
And in order to get United States to stay as put, they leaked the information to the United States to make sure the United States will stay put.
Okay.
However, the United States didn't get involved. They wanted, same time to help China. So that's where the moment exactly when they send a convoy to China to let them know the information.
Okay.
And that olive really melted the ice, followed by the visit, the Nixon visit.
Right. Henry Kissinger.
So we're
my hero.
Right. We're getting better and better between U.S. and China.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I speak Russian a little bit. I don't think that we can treat Russia like we treat the United States.
Right.
And now that with such a wish, though, when we see the conflict starting, you call it a road bump.
Yes, sir.
Speed bump.
Speed bump. Yeah.
Speed bump.
Right.
But we're driving too fast.
Yeah. Yeah, it will settle down.
In what
I don't
area?
think there's going to be a massive trade war. It doesn't do anybody any good. But if there is one, I believe America will prevail because we have the strongest economy on planet Earth, and we can absorb more hits and punches and everything
Do you
than
think
anyone
the
else.
administration is exaggerating the situation?
The administration? No, I think the media is.
The media is.
The media makes everything as bad as they can for President Trump.
Okay.
It's evil. It's very evil.
All right.
But
very
no,
good.
but otherwise, no. And the thing is also, I also know that President Trump and President Xi, you know, they're communicating. They're not punching it out. They're talking it out, and I like that.
The last bad thing that happens to me would be, in my eye, would be when President Donald Trump and Xi Jinping, they broke up, right?
Oh, yeah, it won't.
Anything. If there's a chance to work it out, they will work out.
Yeah.
That's the last thing they will allow happen.
President Trump will not break any lovely relationship. He won't.
And plus, right now, if you look at what's around President Donald Trump, there are lots of controversy going on with people around him.
Well,
Close the circle, the small little circle around him. According to CNN this morning, I saw some comment at 5 o'clock this morning. I just now looked at it. I was looking for it. It's gone already. It's kind of like rotated.
okay.
But they say really something kind of bothering Donald Trump. So I don't think Donald Trump would, at this moment, make another enemy internationally. Do you think
Well,
so?
let me just say this. I don't believe one syllable that comes out of the mouth of anybody at CNN. They've only got 600,000 viewers. They lie incredibly. Really, it's an evil organization that hates Trump, and if they could, they'd probably shoot him. So I don't care what they say. But see, here's one big deal about they say, okay, there's chaos in the White House. All of the other presidents have been politicians, and they've had people they've worked with in politics for 10, 20, 30 years. President Trump had nobody he's worked with in politics till the last 2 years. So it's an adjustment period, and so he makes a selection. The guy works out or doesn't work out. You know, if you don't work out, you're gone, and you get somebody else. And so the team is evolving to a strong team.
That's why for the last year we see him busy hiring, firing, going on and on and on and on.
Well, and a lot of the people that were in the White House when he got there were Obama hangovers, and including other parts of the government, and they leak, which is a form of treason to me. But they're leaking.
That might bring a question. Why would he get somebody solid, relatively solid, in a position around him to hold the fort? Right now, the fort is rocking.
General Kelly. It's not. You know, it's exaggerated.
It is.
I know it's
exaggerated. All right. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
For this segment, we're talking about the China and U.S.
Right.
Whereas in the momentum of the third session of the 19th Congress, and I believe that some positive message will be delivered. In the meantime, Liu He, that's his name. He's visiting China with the United States with the trade delegation.
Yeah.
Right.
And also,
hopefully something good will come out of that visit.
Yeah, in Canada,
if there's anything we want to compromise, each and every one should compromise, right?
Well, you have to compromise to a level playing field. We can't surrender.
Oh, no.
Okay, we have surrendered.
Compromising is different from surrendering. We're not talking about surrendering, all right?
I know.
Okay, now, my dear friends, we are doing the weekly update with my friend Ken Hemming. Ken Hemming is a political commentator. He himself is a writer. I love his book. His book of Life is Simple, 100 Words Live By, stays next to my pillow.
Yeah, I love it.
In between me and my wife.
Right. That's good.
All right, good. Anyway, I'm kidding. All right, so let's take a short moment out. When we come back, we'll continue fighting. Still, please. Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show. It's our weekly update. We're talking about Donald Trump, the White House. We're talking about U.S.-China relations. We're talking about this very moment, the Chinese 19th Congress. For the third session, the CPC is gathering together for their solutions, for their policy, so on and so forth. And meantime, there's little trade kind of obstacles, some kind of itch there. I believe that will be overcome given time, right? As Mr. Ken Hemming calls it, it's a speed bomb anyway.
It's a speed
so
bomb.
Not a big deal, right? Back to Donald Trump. Last week, what really made me feel differently about Donald Trump is that his position in gun control.
Yes, sir.
Right? I know you are a member of a National Rifle Association.
A proud member.
And you're a proud member, and you have several pieces yourself, right?
I have some.
Okay, you have some.
I'm safe.
I know. That is a fact, though. How do you comment on Donald Trump's proposal and agreement and statement on the gun control, including the lifting of the age from 18 to 21? Go ahead.
I'd like to comment on that. I'd like to say also, Jack, that right at this moment, President Trump, Vice President Pence are at the funeral for Reverend Billy Graham. And so we lost a tremendous Christian leader, at 99 years old.
99,
So I just wanted to give that honor and that knowledge to your viewers. That's where the president and vice president are now. Well, this is interesting because, I'm a strong supporter of President Trump. I'm also a strong supporter of the Bill of Rights, the Constitution Bill of Rights, and I'm a strong supporter of the decency of youth. In the quality of youth. Now, so President Trump wants to raise from 17 to 21 the age.
No, 18 to 21.
18 to 21.
18
okay.
to 21.
Yeah.
Yes.
That you can buy a rifle, okay, legally. Now, because they're saying, well, these kids are too young to know what they're doing, and they're too emotionally upset, and they go out and shoot people. And remember, I said one time there's 15 million high school students in 25,000 high schools. You got a better chance of winning, as good a chance of winning the lottery as you do of really getting shot in your high school. But it's a big deal, okay? And I don't really support like Hannity on Fox News. He wants an armed person on every floor of every high school. I just don't think that's necessary. Okay,
that's another issue. The age issue only.
Yeah.
How do you? Yeah.
I do not want to change the age myself. I think nobody's more mature at 21 than they were at 19. Now, you don't all of a sudden be responsible and mature because you turned 21. The world's full of 21-year-old idiots. I was one of them.
Yeah. Then how do you comment the fact that, in spite of at 18 you're becoming an adult? For alcohol consumption, you have to wait until you're 21. And how do you comment on this?
Just separate issues. Just separate. Now, I would say this. I don't know.
We're talking about adulthood, mature adulthood, right?
Well, okay.
Young adult is different from mature adult.
Well, let me say this, Jack. Okay, what you said. Okay, you got to be 21 to drink. Are you kidding me? They're drinking in college every breakfast, just about.
No,
so
they are adult.
There are laws, but that's the law that's the most.
They are adult at 18, but they are not fully fledged.
Well, I don't know.
Like a bird, okay? They fly. The baby birds can't fly now, and it is the baby adult, young adult, a bird, right? When they are fully fledged, until they can do like their parents do at home. And I really believe in human growth. There is still a period, like say for 3 years, to grow from a young adult to fully fledged adult.
Well, let me say this: the drinking age thing has nothing to do with the Constitution. The Second Amendment has everything to do with the Constitution. So they can't be equated. There's no equivalency.
All right. And of course, Amendment number 2 typically talking about the gun, gun right.
The right to protect yourself.
The right to own a gun is not fringed or so whatsoever.
Right.
Like that, right? So now we're talking about the philosophy to build that concept upon.
Yes.
The philosophy to build up upon was that at 18 back then you're talking about life
maybe
expectancy.
52 years old. or
Maybe
something.
50-something years
Right,
old, they
right.
die.
Now it's
right?
78.
18, almost 20%.
Right.
No, almost
Right.
40%
Right.
of a lifetime.
Yeah.
So you were considered back then a mature guy, adult, right? Now, the lifespan is extended to 100 already.
Okay.
Right? So, and then to increase the bottom line from a young adult to a fully fledged adult till 21, do you really believe that goes against the Constitution?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You still
yeah,
do?
but the thing is, it's the culture of America back then. Okay, when everybody was, as you described it, was kind of foundation was Christianity and really personal values of honor, and they taught personal values of honor, and there were more families married to each other than divorced now. They had family dinners together, and the problem with our high schools and these shootings is our culture is being wiped out. The quality of our culture now is anti-Christian. The radical Democrats, like Chuck Schumer, okay, they always use the racist word, okay. Now Chuck Schumer just said he would not vote for the confirmation of one of President Trump's judicial judge nominations because he's white. So that's racism. Yeah.
Let's focus on the age issue.
The culture
one
is
by one.
Yeah, the culture.
I want to say I support the 21 left.
Okay.
You just now mentioned that you are a strong supporter of Donald Trump, whereas I'm not. Now
you're getting closer.
Now it's time you disagree with Donald Trump on raising the age to 21. I do.
Yeah.
A non-supporter does support Donald Trump on raising the age limit.
And I think,
how do you comment the difference at this very moment on this issue between you and me?
Because I have more confidence in the responsibility of people 18 to 21. Nothing changes at 21. A lot of people go to college and they come out worse than when they went in there, the way we have colleges not educating people now and preaching hate and no tolerance for freedom of speech.
Another question probably I can just branch it a little bit.
Yeah.
Not very much though. Do you think our young people turns to be less and less mature when a certain age is concerned? For example, if you back 100 years ago, right, at age 21, you really a big man.
Well,
right? Now 21, they're on cell phone, they're on roller skating.
That's our enemy.
They're on rollerboard,
They're
and
drinking,
they're
drugging.
with a headset on. They're drinking, they're drugging, they're messing around.
And guess what else, Jack? They're hating.
And they live with their parents, no independence whatsoever. So, I mean, do you not see that as a change of life?
It's a change of culture.
Yeah.
Yes.
A change of life.
Yeah.
Of course. Culture is included in your
everything.
life, right? Yeah. Anyway, so there's change. And then to do something accordingly, for example, you are not doing so well physically this morning, for which I so appreciate.
Thank you.
That I'm not even arguing with you.
Right. Oh, no, argue. Lay it on me.
I told you I would not.
Slam me
I will not play hardball on you.
Yeah.
Right. So now, given the environment, given the situation now, given the time, given the technology, given the social whatsoever, given the culture, do you think it is totally different generation between 18 and 21? Please.
Between 18 and 21?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I really beg you to give us some understanding of the fact that there is a difference between 18 and 21.
There's a difference. And some people get better, and some people get worse.
Of course. And some people even die.
That's right.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay. Then anyway,
Yeah.
I told you that I would not play hardball with you today, right?
Oh, play
And
hardball.
I'll stop here because you're such a wonderful friend who, in spite of rain, in spite of the
I'm here.
health conditions so far, no, just a cold, I believe you would. That's
I'm
what
fine.
you got, right?
I'm perfect.
To get here, so not to get criticized, right?
Right.
I would just scratch your back, whatever, massage on you.
But the best
I'll
comment,
pacify you
I appreciate that.
rather than getting you angry.
The best comment, though, is that President Trump is trying to do something. You go back the last 5 presidents, they
That's
just said they're going
that's
to do
the
something.
common ground at least.
And that's the beautiful. He
That's
says
the
we've got
common
to do
ground at
something.
least.
We can't
At
let
least
3 weeks go by and then you forget it.
indicates that
He wants to do
really takes it serious. He
Yeah.
wanted to do something
Yeah.
that you do not agree. I, as a
Well, I
non-supporter,
agree with most of what he wants.
I, as a non-supporter, agree.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Now, my dear friends, my lovely audience, today is our weekly update with my good friend Ken Hemming. He is a very, very constitutional man, very solid on the right-hand side. I keep him there because he's so precious to me. He will keep the balance of me going too much left or whatsoever.
We do that.
And I do it purposely.
We're balanced.
And today we're touching base with what's happened last week. Among all the issues, I like the fact that Donald Trump even proposed to reach the limit across the nation to 21 to own the gun.
Right.
I like that, and I really respect that. So let's take a short moment out. We come back, we'll continue finding more with today's weekly update. Stay with us. Hello, dear friends, my lovely audience, ladies and gentlemen, my dear fellow Americans. The weekly update is very important. Normally, we're talking about federal. At the federal level, though, we see lots of things going on almost every day, given the fact that our president is kind of the media guy. There's not a single day without him being on the headline.
That's right. He's keeping all these
And
journalists.
he is the
busy.
Twitter people.
Yep.
And Facebook whatsoever, you name it.
Yep.
He is always there. He likes tweeting so much. All right. Anyway, so today we're talking about this weekly update with my friend Ken Hemming, CPA for life, but he is to me a philosopher. I like his set of mind. I like the fact that he's so determined that he will die for Constitution.
That's right.
Okay.
With-
And that
with
is the
honor.
beauty of my friend
Yeah.
Ken Hemming. In spite of the fact that I do argue with him quite often, I will not do it today because I'm determined today we'll find some common ground. He is my sick baby today.
Yeah.
Well, let's take care of him. All right. Now,
Thank you.
I've noticed putting Jeff Sessions, Kushner, people, whatsoever,
yes,
right?
yeah.
All together, I would say that during Obama time, Clinton time, George Bush time, W. Bush time, whatsoever, any presidency, well, this is not the first time
Correct.
those people happen to be around a president.
That's correct.
All right? It is the skill I'm talking about. It's the people's skill I'm talking about. In Donald Trump, we see his business skills being so supreme that he can deal, according to
Yeah.
your statement,
Yeah.
with any situation.
He's smarter than any politician.
His lack of dealing with people skill, it's obvious, so obvious that we started to see these people trying or not trying, accidentally or purposely, messing around with him. How do you comment on that fact, please?
Well, I will disagree with your comment on his people skills.
Uh-huh.
President Trump is not going to, he doesn't do his breathing in purpose in life to be liked. He's doing his breathing and purpose in life to make this country great again. And you can't make everybody happy, and he doesn't live to make everybody happy. Other politicians are kissing up to each other all the time. And one really, I think, worthy comment is, so many of these people, Democrats, some Republicans, Rhino Republicans, and the media they all used to love and worship Donald Trump. He was always in the headlines in favorable ways. So I don't believe they dislike him individually. They just can't believe Hillary lost. And then their agenda, because if Hillary was elected, then that would be a third term of Obama, but more to the left. And freedom and individual liberty would be pretty much wiped out in America. We'd never get it back. And so they just are so angry. It's not hate, but they're angry.
You're right 50%, you're wrong 50%. Let me tell you the right part, the right half,
Yes,
that
sir.
you are right. I was not a supporter for Donald Trump, neither was I a supporter to Hillary. So I voted none of them.
Yeah, I know.
What happened to me was that I just, cordially, with
Yeah.
all respect, flip that page over, leave that in blank.
Right.
So this is what I did.
Right.
Now, with that, I first want my audience to know I started to hate going too much left already.
I know. It's just,
All right.
it's really seriously
Look
out
at
of
what's
control.
happening. Look at what's happening in this country. Look, take California for example.
I know. You take
right?
it. I don't
we
want
have,
it.
We have everything. Well,
Yeah.
even at the federal level.
Yeah.
Right. Did you and I spend time talking about the legalization of same-sex marriage?
Yes, we did.
Right. We did, right?
lot.
Okay, now we decided we capitulate, accept as a fact. Anyway,
But I disapprove.
Till this day, I disapprove either.
Yeah.
I will not accept, right? I will not accept. My non-acceptance doesn't mean law is not law. Law is still law. Well, let the law be there.
Right.
Well, I respect the laws are law, okay?
Right.
Long live laws, I will say that.
Right.
However, if you ask me, I do not agree.
Right.
You ask me about the third bathroom, I don't agree.
Right.
Right? Yeah. You give me the kind of a Me Too movement, I don't
Right.
agree.
Right.
I believe something did happen. I don't
Oh.
think the whole nation tilting that way. Every male
True,
trying
yeah.
to stick a hand into
Right, they're
women's
not-
pants.
they're
No,
not- they're not doing
no,
that,
no, not like that, right? Okay. Anyway, that said, I have enough problem seeing things too much on the left. That said,
It's really-
doesn't mean I support the other 50% you mentioned. Okay, now
That's why
talking
we're in
about
America.
this, talking about the Russian investigation, though.
It's a farce.
Why there are so many slowing downs? Why are there so many firings, hirings? Why? Well, it looks to me something is there.
Nothing's there. Are you kidding? If you want to talk about Russian collusion with America and vice versa, all you got to do is look at Hillary, the Democratic Party, John Podesta, and there's just nothing. Nobody expected Trump to win. Nobody was rooting. Putin owned Hillary Clinton.
No.
He doesn't
I
own
have
Trump.
no problem believing that the Russians never took a break
Oh yeah,
in trying to interfere United States.
they want chaos.
Okay.
They just want chaos.
My question relies on the fact that I want to find out who was in connection with them.
They've already been
worked
going
with them.
15 months looking at this. There is no connection.
Well, anyway, and I can
And
still
that's
wait. We can still wait.
We
right?
can't wait
Okay.
20 more years.
There
it's
are
just
things.
it's a farce.
There are things that Donald Trump might know. There are things Donald Trump might not know. Once again,
About what? About what?
Once again, it is going back to people around him. I'm talking about if Donald Trump meant to do good, right? It is the people around him that kind of slowed him down, set obstacles, right?
Yeah,
Give him
that's-
interferences.
Everybody didn't want him to win. A lot of the Republicans didn't want him to win.
Why would a president so good as Donald Trump do not get the attractions from people?
Because the ideology of the radical left has as a core feature is hate and domination and reducing our individual liberties.
But Democrats lost both houses, so they can push forward now.
Well, they're not going to push forward. They're going
I'm
to push
talking
backward.
about the
They
fact-
lost houses because the real people in America, the ones that live in Illinois and North Dakota and that, the real people in America don't like the East Coast and West Coast. The West Coast, California, Oregon, Washington, completely liberal. The
Okay,
East
you're
Coast,
right, my friend.
completely
You're
liberal.
right.
America, I'd get rid of both coasts and let America.
I'm playing not a hardball here, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. It is clearly seen a fact already that Democrats is out of both houses, right? The majority
in
being the
terms of
Republican
control.
Party,
Yeah.
right? Why they can't get anything done? It is
Well, they've
within the
gotten a lot
Republican Party, their left and the right. It is within the Republican Party, that left and the right, the impasse.
Yeah, there's
the
moderates and-
the
yeah.
impasse, right?
Right.
Holds on.
A lot of the
Holds up.
Republicans still do not truly support President Trump. And yet, when you go through his accomplishments in his first 13 months in office, phenomenal. Just absolutely phenomenal. And you just list them out. And we do have a Supreme Court guy that believes in the Constitution, and we also have a tax law that is electrifying our economy. He is doing great things, and he's got many, many judges confirmed. Now, when you've got a guy like Schumer that won't confirm one who's totally qualified because he's white, that's evil. And they are the ones that preach racism, and they're the ones practicing it.
No.
that's true.
Exactly not the question I'm asking.
Yeah, I know.
What I'm asking was that
I lose
why
control.
within the party there are the left and the right. The left and the
Well-
right. And the left and right are divided so clearly, so strongly, so obviously. Even a child can see. So why would that happen?
Well, the farther left in the Republican Party is still more to the right than the farther right in the Democratic Party. We need to merge and hug each other more, because all it is, it's not about your party, it's not about your ideology. They forget they work for the people. That's what's so upsetting to me. They do forget they work for the people. These people that have got so much money, or something like Nancy Pelosi, has no idea how much $1,000 means to a average family. Average income in America is $55,000. She's worth $100 million
Well, anyway,
or more.
all right, good.
So
But Nancy
they
Pelosi,
can't relate.
But Donald Trump had a picture taken, beautiful picture taken with Nancy Pelosi. They're
Probably-
next to each other.
Well,
right?
nothing-
They were both smiling on they were both smiling faces.
So do we.
Come on. All right, my dear friends, with me today, my brother Ken Hemming.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see him laughing, because I was so worried when I got a call. Say, hey, I'm in the doctor office for 3 hours or whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I was so worried about that. Hey, what's wrong, baby? He says like, oh yeah, little fever,
Little anxiety, little whatever.
Anxiety or something like that. I needed well, anyway. I'm glad he made it today.
Me too.
And I mean, in spite of the rain, like, anyway. So for that, I decided not to play hardball with him, make him happy. I'm kind of pacifying him anyway, like
You're my mommy.
my sick baby, all right?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's take up a short moment now. When we come back, we'll still joke around. Well, stay with us, please. Hello, dear friend, my lovely audiences, my dear fellow Americans, welcome back to the Talk About America. It is our weekly update. With me is my good friend, Ken Hemming, a philosopher. He is a lover to the community. He's a protector of Constitution. He claims
Yes.
that he will be willing to die for Constitution. Fact is that he is still alive. Constitution is in trouble.
Yeah, right, that's true. Very good
All
point.
right. Anyway, good point. Okay, you better die to keep the Constitution.
I think you're right.
To keep
Nice to
save
meet
the
you all.
Constitution. All right, like that kind of thing. Anyway, I'm kidding. He is
Yeah.
so dear to me. When I got the call about he in the doctor's office, I was so worried. I hate to call him to bother him, and I hate not to call.
Right.
Not to call about him. Anyway,
We're bonded.
We're bonded. No. For that, I decided not to play hardballs with it. Let's do some easy balls with the weekly update today.
Yeah.
I noticed last week, the biggest thing was that Donald Trump ends up with Nancy Pelosi in a lovely picture.
Oh, she's so lovely.
In a lovely video, in the lovely video too.
Yeah.
Right. They were smiling. Both were smiling.
Yeah.
They were next to each other, shoulder to shoulder. Even though she's a small lady, he's a big man.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, they are happy. I noticed it was exactly the gun age issue at that discussion that brought them into the picture. All right, now, question. Of course, I hate to come back on the issue though, but I am coming back. So it is the issue that make people together. Do you think so?
Well, this is the interesting thing. Okay, the National Rifle Association, which represents and defends the Second Amendment and the ability to arm yourself and protect yourself, they're a strong lobby. Also, they're very strong. They supported President Trump with about $30 million in contributions. But this president is very supportive of them, loves the Second Amendment, but he's willing to adjust things that might not sit well with the NRA. He had lunch with the 3 top people at the NRA a few days ago and said, we've got to do some changes here. And some of them they'll resist, some of them they'll go along with. This president, you wouldn't have, even the Democratic presidents, Obama and Clinton recently, they wouldn't have gone and proposed this much of a change to the reality of gun rights and the Second Amendment, which is a foundational right in our Constitution and Bill of Rights. So he is, he's the art of the deal. He wants to give parents in America some comfort that we're trying to make the high schools
again,
safer.
I may not like him as a whole. I'm talking about bit by bit.
Yeah.
When there pops up something that he does right, and I support that issue. He did it right.
He's going
on the gun age issue. He did do the right thing.
Well, he did a thing,
and he did anyway. He did the right thing that got the welcome from Nancy Pelosi.
Right,
which is good.
It's not law yet, so we don't know what'll happen.
Remember a few days ago another picture with Dianne Feinstein?
Oh yeah, sitting right next to him in the
sitting right next to each other.
Right.
They are good tokens. They're good signs.
Yeah, sure.
They're good signs. Now,
he's not an obsessed ideologue.
Thirdly, for he daring to go not against, to negotiate with the National Rifle Association.
He is daring. That is daring.
Yeah, National Rifle Association, whereby you're a proud member.
Yeah.
That's a really big move.
It really is a big move.
Okay, speaking of the National Rifle, NRA.
Yeah. Which of course has
lots
nothing
of
to do
people,
with
lots of
hurting
people
anybody.
say, lots of people. I'm not a member of it. I
Right,
don't
that's
even
fine.
like it. All right, good. Lots of people say the whole gun right thing is manipulated by the NRA.
Not true. The whole gun deal and the Second Amendment was created by our founding fathers, is foundational to our existence.
Those are
the NRA. Look,
those are slogans.
Look, just like the Democrats love abortion, I don't. I'm a pro-life guy.
So
it's much worse to love abortion than it is to protect your guns.
You know how much they spend, the NRA spend, since the event of Sandy Hook School to up to date now, $250 million in lobbying the Congress not to give up the gun rights.
Well, what do you think these other lobbyists do? I don't like lobbyists either. I think no one should lobby. Jack, there's only 5 million people, members of the NRA. We got 330 million Americans. It's not like we got 50 million.
But they are rich.
No, they're not rich. Other people are not members.
They're super rich.
No, they're not at all. They're farmers. They're not. They're the average citizen. They're not the rich that go to Africa to hunt.
That's your take.
Well, they're not super rich. Okay, I will research. I'll research average net worth.
I just want to lay the problem, the question,
but the money
on the table.
They receive money from. The bulk are non-NRA members. People want to support the Second Amendment in our Constitution. That's popular.
No. I'm by no means going against the Second Amendment of Constitution.
Right.
I support that. I believe that's the beauty of a democracy. That's why everybody wants to come here.
But they want
to. Okay. I am saying that under the structure, the guidance whatsoever of the Constitution, there are details to talk about. Such as to stop the automatic guns, right? Controls on the bigger magazines, right? What is called this? The automatic thing, the little device going back.
Bump stocks.
The bump stop, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Trump says he's going to
And
illegalize
yeah,
them.
Well, and such as, which most importantly exactly falls on this issue, is the age to be increased from, to lift it up from 18 to 21. Those are the minor points we're checking.
They're not minor.
For example,
They're not minor.
you tailored a beautiful suit,
Yes.
right? Okay, and you were so handsome whatsoever. However,
Gotta hide my
there are
body.
several stitches missing.
Yeah. That's,
Right?
Yeah.
We only want to fix those stitches.
Well, let me ask you this question. Do you believe the radical left Democratic leadership in their party wants to eliminate the Second Amendment from existing?
I don't think so.
I know so.
No, I don't think so.
think
That's a labeling.
They would do it.
That's a stamp on them, right? That's not.
It's a truthful statement.
Everybody keeps saying that they want to protect the Constitution. However, under the Constitution, there are few stitches we want to do, right?
Well,
okay, I have this beautiful jacket
and a
by the
beautiful
way-
tie today.
All right, of course. This is
That's very serious.
Right.
Yeah, it's very
thank
serious.
you very much.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm talking about there are stitches missing.
Yeah.
I'm fixing it. All right, only a few stitches.
All fixes are not
I'm not
necessarily
denying. I'm not
improvements.
denying the whole jacket.
Yeah.
I'm only fixing a few stitches here and there.
Yeah, but well, so what stitches do you want?
Or the stitches were that back then the guns were not automatic. Now we're stopping automatic, right? Back then they do not have the big magazine, not even magazine. They do the gunpowder, boom, 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 boom. They do that kind.
That's why they all died.
All right. And then back then people were more mature, even in the age of 16, 17. Now they stretch it. The sluggish young people
Right.
will not become an adult until they're 21, 22.
Well, maturity really doesn't relate to age.
Even the law against
It's
the kids,
individual.
even the law allows the kids to stay under the parents' name, the household for insurance until 26.
Yeah, I disagree with that too. I
Right,
do.
well,
Yeah,
it's
we've
a
talked
fact.
about that
That's
before.
a fact. We did talk about.
Yeah.
Why are you so sensitive? Why people have to be so sensitive going against anybody saying that you got a button missing, let me put it on for you. You got a few stitches missing, let me fix for you. Those are minor things, baby. Come on. Please.
They're minor to you. I accept that. I do. Changing,
I
guys could
told
go,
you.
guys get killed, 18, 19, 20.
I promised my audience to
Yeah.
play easy ball with it, not hard ball. I only stop here, say that
Oh.
I have. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, one real big deal, gun-free zones. That's the capital of murders. Gun-free zones, like for example, military bases are often gun-free zones.
Gun-free zone to me
are
is
horrible.
a declaration of a target.
Yeah, it is.
Say, I'm a target.
Yeah.
You're welcome to shoot me.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm a gun-free man.
Yeah, and
Something
President
like
Trump
that.
just says people have got to know that somebody might be armed, and when you come in here, the bullets might come your direction.
We
too.
probably want
And
to
I like
change.
that.
We want to change California laws. We want to allow people to carry concealed weapons like they do in Texas.
I love Texas. And our Oakland mayor should go to jail. She is hiding convicted felons
I don't know.
from.
I don't know.
Well, I do
But
know.
I want now.
She is
I
doing
used
that.
not to. I used not to. Now I kind of change myself. I revise myself because we always learn. Well, learn as we grow, right? So now I learned that it is preventable, very preventable, if everybody has a concealed weapon.
Yeah.
Nobody can go much.
Nobody
can go beyond the limit too far.
There
could be gun wars.
There's restaurants in Texas where you have to come in with the gun, and guess what? They've never been held up.
Yeah.
It's just that
All right.
simple.
All right, good. Because everybody has a gun.
Yeah.
To declare free zone, gun-free zone, it
just
is
doesn't
so
work.
stupid.
Yeah.
And the other day I had my
just doesn't
friend
work.
Bob Lindsay,
Yes.
candidate
I
for
like him
county sheriff.
a lot.
And he says gun-free zone is a declaration of a target.
I like him. I admire him.
Yeah. It's a target. Everybody can shoot me. I can do nothing. Like that, right?
You can do nothing.
And on the contrary, he calls for arm the school teachers.
Those that are willing, you can't order someone to get trained in that.
No.
But those that are
Willingly.
willing, and,
I mean, the willing
that
teachers.
are adept and
willing teachers, willing
Yeah.
employees, give
Right.
them some training,
Right.
and then with some background, some training,
Yeah.
and things will get better.
Yeah.
Well, let this go along with
Yeah.
the Donald Trump's 21 years of age limit.
Yeah.
Well, we probably still, without touching the Constitution, get the job done.
And I said before, more kids are killed going to school and going home than are by shooters at school. Now, it's horrible. If my daughter was shot, I mean,
Anyway, it
it's
is
horrible.
time. It is time. Since Sandy Hook, there are more than 400 young lives, school lives, were taken. 239 incidents occurred.
And there's 15 million people in high school. It's
Ooh,
not.
yeah.
Look,
All
every
right.
life is unbelievably
It is
critical. But
a moment. It is
Yeah.
high time we did something.
But it's the
my
culture.
dear friends, today we're playing easy ball. Even playing easy ball made us overtime. Anyway, we love this discussion. Weekly update for this week. We'll see you next week on the weekly update. So, my dear friends, thank you for watching. And to Ken Hemming, thank you, my dear friend.
love you and your viewers.